What's up, Prizefight fans? I'm Brian Tong, and we have a face-off between two of our favorite mid-range digital SLR cameras. It's a picture-perfect punch-out between the Nikon D7100 and the Canon EOS 70D. Our judges for this fight are CNET Review's senior editor Lori Boom Boom Grunin and senior editor Josh the Goldman. We'll take both judges' scores and average them out to the nearest tenth of a point. The final Prizefight score will be an average of all rounds using the same decimal system. Let's do this. First round is design and interface. Both of these camera bodies are comfortable to use. They aren't overly complex, with easy to navigate menus for DSLR users, and can be found for around $1,100 each. Now, a lot of times this comes down to personal preference. Josh likes Nikon's layout better, while Lori prefers Canon's. The convenience of Nikon's power switch right next to the shutter release makes more sense to us, and while we're fans of Canon's flip-out LCD, that design choice forces some of the direct controls to be on top. Pressing a button directly in the middle of the mode dial to unlock it can be awkward, and even though its menus are easier to navigate, its directional pad control dial combination can make it a pain. Nikon's D7100 gets things started with the 4, and Canon's 70D gets a 3.5. Next round is features. Both of these cameras bring features you'd expect from a mid-range DSLR. Nikon brings dual SD card slots and clean HDMI output for video, but it lacks the ability to change aperture during video shooting. You have a fixed LCD screen that limits its usefulness, and if you want Wi-Fi, you'll have to purchase a dongle add-on. Now, Canon's 70D articulated touchscreen LCD, built-in Wi-Fi, and its ability to control aperture while shooting video sets it apart from the D7100. It really has the advantage if you're looking to shoot video, but the lack of a headphone jack and clean HDMI out is a bummer. It still won't matter. This round goes to Canon with the 4, and Nikon gets a 3. So after averaging 2 rounds, Canon has the slight lead. Next round is shooting performance. Facts don't lie, and the numbers don't lie, where tenths of a second matter. Now, the D7100 is generally faster for still photography, with a tenth of a second advantage in time to first shot. Both cameras are dead even with raw shot-to-shot time, as well as JPEG shot-to-shot time. Now, in dim light situations, the D7100 has the advantage by 0.3 of a point, where the 70D has a 0.2 of a point advantage for typical shutter lag. Now, for typical continuous shooting speed, Canon's 70D also edges out Nikon with 7.1 frames per second versus Nikon's 6.3 frames per second for the D7100. Also, Canon 70D shines during live view shooting with autofocus performance that outclasses other DSLRs. These results are all tenths of a second apart, but in real-world use, the D7100 feels faster with the ability to power on and shoot with one hand, and it gets the edge this round with the 4.5, and the Canon 70D gets a 4. The final round that decides it all is image quality. The D7100 brings better detail resolution and naturally sharper images because it doesn't have an optical low-pass filter. It also brings better color reproduction without fiddling with the settings, but Lori says it doesn't preserve as much highlight detail as she'd like. Now, the Canon 70D is no chump, but the judges aren't too hot on its default color settings, and images just aren't as sharp with its optical low-pass filter. Now, Josh says it's the high ISO results that tilt this in favor of Nikon's D7100. Nikon takes the final round with a 4, and Canon gets a 3. So let's average out all 4 rounds, and in a prize fight where Nikon trailed early, the D7100 closed the gap on Canon's 70D and takes this battle 3.9 to 3.6 and is your prize fight winner. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for another prize fight. Oh, I can't.